Welcome to Roots and WINGS-IWACU show, a show where we celebrate the Rwandan community abroad while also exploring their lives, their achievements, and how they stay connected to their country, even if they are far away in different countries around the world. Today, in today's episode, we have a special, amazing guest. She's called Keza Ishimwe. She's based in Australia, but she's a Rwandan. Welcome, Keza, to our show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on this show.
Thank you. We will also explore about her journey, her career, what she's doing right now, and how she stays connected to her country, even if she lives in Australia. So, Keza, how old were you when you left Rwanda?
I was 5 years old when I left Rwanda to go to Australia. So I was very young.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So, like, when did you come back the first time after, like, leaving at that time?
Literally now. This is my first time back in Rwanda since I left.
Yeah.
So I didn't come back. But it's super exciting to be able to come back to my country and see. Obviously, I was young, so I didn't really see a lot, but seeing it now, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, so how does it feel to come back to your country after so many years now? You're grown up, you left when you were very, very young.
Yeah.
How does it feel? What is the feeling?
Honestly, I don't even think I can explain it in like words, in like one word, but it's just exciting. I haven't visited so many places yet, but I've only been here for a week. But I'm really excited to just see everything. I'm really excited to visit Keza National Park to see the animals. I love animals. Yeah. But yeah, I visited the memorial yesterday, so that was a really cool experience. But yeah, I can just say, like, the only thing I can say is exciting. Yeah. Yeah.
Starting from what you just said, there are some places that you have already like visited. What are some of the key takeaways? What did you learn from those places? Because you left when you were really, really young. Really young,
yeah. Yeah, like you said, I left when I was really young, so I feel like a lot of people would expect me to not know as much. But I feel like my parents have taught me a lot, especially about the genocide against Tutsis. So when I went to the memorial, I learned a lot from there, but it's not like I didn't know anything already, if that makes sense. I learned a lot of history, and I feel like I was very connected with my identity and who I am as a person, which really helped me. But yeah, I feel like that's one of the main places that I've visited that has taught me amateka in Rwanda.
Yeah. So going back to your career, we heard that you featured in some movies like Mad Max, Furiosa, and others. How did you find out about like your career, or how did you find out that you were passionate about featuring in movies and stuff like that?
Yeah, I feel like I've always had that passion since I was very young, but studying it, I think, really widened kind of the whole perspective of the industry and helped me learn more about what I'm getting myself into. So I think that's what like kind of inspired me and rose my passion, if that makes sense. But yeah, I think studying it and actually knowing what I'm learning, if that makes sense. And I feel like also like my teachers, my family as well, they were very supportive in it. So I think that's what helped me to be where I am today.
Yeah. So like you said, you're studying in the film industry and stuff like that. You're still in the studies, or you're done with it?
I'm still in my studies. So I'm currently at university and I'm studying communication and media. So I'm studying that and journalism, so like what you're doing right now. But then I'm also at Screenwise, which is a film school in Sydney, and I do acting there as well. At the moment, I'm studying a one-year course, which is like it's called a show reel course, and it's helping me to kind of know who I am as an actor, and help me to get show reels, which is kind of like a crucial part of the acting like your acting CV, if that makes sense. But yeah.
But how do you kind of balance those two? Because those are two different fields.
Yeah.
Almost related, but they're still different. How do you balance that?
Yeah. It's hard to balance it. I feel like it's just kind of knowing your time and managing it well. But I'm lucky that there's similar kind of like industries to be a part of, because there's some people who are doing acting and then they're doing like, I don't know, like banking or accounting, and it's so different. But with me, it's like I'm studying two things that kind of align, so it makes it a little bit easier for me to cooperate with. Yeah.
Coming back to your career as an actress, you mentioned, like we saw that you featured in the Mad Max Furious. How did it feel being part of an international production such as like the big as that? Yeah,
it felt, I don't know, exhilarating. It was amazing. It's such a unique set and a unique film to be a part of, especially for it being my first ever film production that I was a part of. It's huge. Like, that's a huge opportunity. It's a big opportunity to be a part of a film and a production that's named Australia's biggest production, you know? So it was an honor and a privilege. And yeah, like I never imagined my first film being a film like that. Not only is it big, but it's also like very different to the real world. It's not like every other modern film that you watch on TV. It's more like, I don't know, like sci-fi and like action, and it's just a lot that comes to the set that's very unrealistic, if that makes sense. So that was really cool to experience that,
Yeah, so like it kind of was like a surprise, but what were the challenges that you faced? You're going to work with experienced people like that have been in the film industry for so long, and now you're just stepping in. So like what were some of the challenges that you faced during that same period?
Yeah, I feel like there's obviously many challenges, like as an actor, that an actor experiences, whether it's like, going for roles and not getting them, and there's a lot of things. But I think for me, like on that set, I didn't experience too many challenges. I think the team really worked hard to be able to make us feel really comfortable on set and just happy to be there. Anything you needed was literally provided for you. I think something just in general that I think that people should focus on would be like, because we have like a lot of diverse people in Australia as well, it's sometimes hard to find people who can know your hair, for example, like I have for hair. I think that's something that they need to work on. Just having people that can do your hair, because I realized like my hair, like for it, like being straightened every day, it kind of like got a little bit damaged. But I think that's something that they're working towards, and I've had some great people do my hair and they did it very well. But that's probably one challenge that I experienced, just not having enough hairdressers to like know how to work Afro hair, know the texture, know how much time is needed for the care. That makes sense. But yeah.
Now coming back to your roots, Rwanda, like featuring in an international production like that, now as a young Rwandan, not as a person, but as like a young Rwandan, how did it feel to you?
Amazing. I obviously, growing up, I didn't see many Rwandan actors. I think I know like one, Nshuti Gatwa, who is in Sex Education, really good actor. But yeah, it was just cool just to be able to like say I'm Rwandan and I'm an actor. You don't see many, I feel like. Well, for me, I didn't see many. But I think I take that as an opportunity to be able to show other young Rwandans that it's possible to be an actor if you have that dream, like pursue it. And yeah, like I'm still young, I'm still learning. So I hope that I can be an inspiration to like the youth here who want to pursue a career in the acting world. Yeah.
Now coming back to your personal life, you left when you were 5 years old.
Yeah.
That's a young age. And now you're a full grown up. Now, how did you stay connected to your culture, to your country?
Yeah.
You're just coming back, but how did you stay connected to your culture in general?
Yeah, I think growing up, I feel like you lose kind of your culture when you're living abroad. It's very easy to lose it when you're really young. But I feel like my parents kind of made it crucial for me to like still be connected with my culture. For example, I can still speak Kinyarwanda.
Nice.
Which is like pretty cool.
Give us an example.
Skill.
Give us an
like
example, like one word.
Ndakivuga ndacyumva ndasoma Ikinyarwanda cyose ibintu byose ushobora kumbwira nabyumva ushobora no kugusubiza. Yeah, so I speak Kinyarwanda. But I think, yeah, so that was the main thing that helped me connect with my culture. But as you grow up, I feel like even as people, we connect more with our culture because we learn more and we have more experiences. And I feel like especially the city that I live in, Sydney, we have a big group of young people and we're all very connected. Rwandans, young people, we're all very connected. We have a lot of programs that we have a lot of events that we hold. For example, we have Culture Day, we have Umuganura, we have a lot of things, Kwibuka, that connect us all as Rwandans to still have that, you know, still be in contact with our cultural identity, if that makes sense.
Yeah. One compliment I would like to give, I realized that both your names are Kinyarwanda, Keza, Ishimwe.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So coming back to your career, do you have plans to actually like come back, also improve the film industry here in Rwanda, your country? Do you have such plans in the future?
Yeah. That's something that I've actually thought about a lot, and I've been speaking to my parents about it, and it's something that even coming here, I really wanted to get in contact with people here who are a part of the film industry, just to learn more about the film culture here in Rwanda. Obviously, I don't know much. I did a little bit of research, but there's only so much that you can find on the internet.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think, yes, I do have plans, but I'm not, like, I don't know a lot yet to be able to say what the plans are, if that makes sense. So I'm really willing to learn, so whoever can help me learn. But yeah, I'm willing to learn, and I'm willing to, you know, do what I can to help the film industry be bigger here as well, 100%. Yeah, I think that's really important. And I think it helps. The creative space is something that really helps people to, you know, to keep that courage and happiness. It's helped me, so I think it can help a lot of young Rwandans as well. Yeah.
Now you are in holidays, and it's been a few weeks when while you're here.
Yeah.
How the places that you visited and also the activities that you've done in the country, how has it helped you connect again to your country, because it's the first time that you're coming back since you left?
Yeah. That's a good question. I think obviously everything that I encounter with here helps me connect with my cultural identity, 100%. Like I said, I haven't gone to a lot of things yet, but from what I've seen, everyone here helps me to be more Rwandan, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like the people are what makes it. I love driving, like someone driving and I'm looking outside and everyone's already outside. I feel like it's so lively here. Like, everyone's walking and doing something, and it's literally like 8 p.m. at night. In Australia, no one's walking around at 9 p.m. like on a Tuesday afternoon, you know? So I think that helped me. I think it showed me like how happy people are here. And I think that connects with me as well, because I feel like I'm a very happy person. So I felt at home, if that makes sense. Yeah.
So in the places that you visited, or like in the moments that you had, like, well, here in Rwanda, were there moments that felt special to you, or like meaningful or surprising?
Yeah, definitely the memorial. I think that was special to me as a second-gen survivor, obviously. My family lost a lot of loved ones, so it's something that I connect with a lot, and it's something that I really try to advocate to people even in Australia, like my friends. And so having a deeper understanding of how everything happened, I think is something that really stuck with me, because then now I can go home and be able to explain in such like a better sense of understanding, because I have a better sense of understanding. So now I can go and explain to my friends who might not know, and to people who might not know, just in a better way, if that makes sense. So I think just visiting that really helped me connect with my history and the history of Rwanda. Yeah.
Now, as a Rwandan who lived abroad for like the biggest part of your life, what advice or what is your message to other young Rwandans who are living in various countries around the globe? To how can they preserve their culture even if they are not in the country?
Yeah, I think my message would be to try really, 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 really hard to stay in contact with your culture. Obviously it's not easy, because for me, I feel like it was easier just because I was living with my parents. There are a lot of young Rwandans who are living abroad who don't have family there, and it's a lot harder to find other Rwandans there as well that they can talk to about, issues and just being Rwandan in general. It's hard to find people who are like you. But just try really hard to stay in contact, whether it's like staying in contact with your family here, being updated on like the news and what's happening, just watching Rwandan TV. There's a lot of things that you can do, but just the crucial thing is to just stay in contact with it, if that makes sense, and just still. And also, another thing is for parents to teach their kids Kinyarwanda, because there's a lot of kids that don't know Kinyarwanda, and then when they come here and they meet their grandparents or their family members, they don't know how to speak to them. So I think that's something that people who live here, their family who live here, may value a lot if they're able to speak to their grandchildren or their cousins, So I think those are the two main things that I would tell other young Rwandans living abroad.
While you were responding, there's something that just got to my mind. You say that your parents kind of helped you to remain connected to your country. I would like you to explore more. Did you guys do you guys speak in Kinyarwanda at home? What other activities do you do to stay connected? And
I actually have a really funny story. So basically, my mum went to Australia 1 year before us, and then me, my brother, and my dad came a year later. And so what my dad did is he told us that my mom can speak English, but he was like, so then me and my brother were like, oh, we have to speak Kinyarwanda to my dad and then English to my mom, because my dad doesn't understand English. So in our heads, as young little kids, we were like, we can't speak English to dad, he doesn't know anything. So what we did, we grew up speaking Kinyarwanda to my dad and speaking English to my mom.
That's funny.
So it was a good, when we grew older, I think at 10, I was like, are you sure you can't speak English? Because I've literally heard you speak to other people, what? But and then we realized this whole time they just wanted us to know our language, which now that I look back, I thank mom and dad for helping us through that and lying to us. Not lying, it was a good lie. It was a good lie to help us, I feel like it's a big thing. Just because even when I came here, they were like, was it kuvuga Kinyarwanda? And I was like, yes. And they were like, what? Like, it's such a big thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thank mom and dad for that. Yeah.
So what other activities do you do to remain connected to your culture? You mentioned some of the events that happens, but like when there are no events that are happening, like what other kind of like activities that keeps you connected?
I think, to be honest, we have a big group of young Rwandans where we live. So I think us coming together, we come together like literally many times in a month. And some of us are really, really close friends. Like I think some of my really close friends are Rwandan in Australia. So I think already being able to hang out with them and see them is already like something, you know? It's already something that keeps me in contact with my culture. Because even when I talk to them, we speak in Kinyarwanda sometimes too. Yeah, and I also have a cousin who like came from Rwanda like 3 years ago, and I live with her, so she's taught me a lot about the Rwandan culture that I did not know anything about. Yeah, so I also thank her for that. But yeah, I think that's how, just being able to meet with other Rwandans and have, you know, little events. Even without the events, we hang out and we talk. It's just, it keeps me in contact with the Rwandan culture, yeah, 100%.
Now that you're in holidays and you're almost back to Australia for your studies and other, like, you know, reasons, personal reasons, what are some of the lessons that you've learned that you will take away to Australia?
Yeah, okay. Something that I would take away to Australia, I think here everyone is just happy. Here the country is so lively, and the shops are open. Like in Australia, the shops close at like 5:30, 6 p.m. Here the shops are open. I think one thing that I would tell Australians is how beautiful this country is, that they should definitely visit Rwanda now. The country's beautiful, it's clean, there's lights everywhere, it's evolved so much. I feel like when you think of Rwanda being someone who's never been there, you don't think of it like how I'm seeing it now. Like when people were telling me it's beautiful, I was like, yeah, it's beautiful. But when I'm here by myself, like when I'm here seeing it now, I'm really like, it's beautiful, like wow. So I would tell them to come visit Rwanda. That's the main thing I would say. But yeah, I'll just say how beautiful the culture is. And I think Australians, they value culture a lot, so I think they would really love to come here and see for themselves. Yeah. Now,
as we come close to our show, do you think you will come more often in the country
100%. I'm coming next year. What do you mean? Yeah, 100%. I'm coming like literally every year. If I can, I'll try my hardest, yeah. I told my mom already, I was like, Mom, me and my brother, we're coming here every year. Yeah, 100%, yeah.
Thank you, Keza Ishimwe, for sharing us your journey and also for sharing us like how you stay connected like to your culture, even if you're far away from it. Thank you for joining us on Roots and WINGS-IWACU, and join us in the next episode. We hope to see you there. Thank you.